Some of the best Polish food is found in the Ohio Valley. As many of you are aware, the Allegheny River and the Monongahela River merge right in the center of Pittsburgh and form the Ohio River. Up until the mid-90s, the entire length of the Ohio River from Pittsburgh until it spilled into the Mississippi was lined with steel mills. Over the past 20 years, each and every one of the abandoned mills were torn down. In its place now are snazzy restaurants, artisan micro pubs, and tree-lined walking trails. The smog is gone now. Locals no longer believe stars are a product of Hollywood and can now see them with their own eyes. How do you know if you're in the Ohio Valley nowadays? One visual clue is 70 to 80% of the population wear Steelers gear. Men, women, the elderly, and toddlers. All of them run around in black and gold. Steelers gear is never in poor taste. It is always fashionable and acceptable to wear wherever you're going, whether it be church, a job interview, or your work. It is considered business casual. Anytime there is a gathering that exceeds 6 locals, undoubtedly the conversation will turn into them complaining about the Steelers coaching. I already know what you're thinking. You're going to roll in there and try to fit in. Them Steelers is in the shitter again this year, huh? I said they trashed the Pittsburgh Steelers, not you. Current coaches, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator are always in season. They're fair game. Former coaches, such as Dick Hoke, Bill Cowher, are off limits. Anyone with the Rooney last name, off limits. Most offensive players are good to go to trash, except Hines Ward. Everybody trashes Big Ben in the privacy of their own homes. But you will be surprised there are people that will defend his honor in public, since he did win 2 Super Bowls. It goes without saying that the Hall of Famers are always off limits. They don't keep an updated matrix of who you're allowed to pick on, so I'd advise you just to not talk about it at all. Best way to assimilate into the population is through food. The locals cannot resist Haluski. Anytime there is a gathering, a Haluski will magically appear. What is the big deal with Haluski? 1, it's delicious. 2, its primary component is cabbage. 3, it's really easy to make and hard to mess up. 4, it's inexpensive, and most of the time all the ingredients are already in your kitchen. Lastly, it stores well. You can bust one out of your freezer or refrigerator and put it in the oven if you're ever in a pinch. Hey, you know what? I saw a cool little Polish deli in between the Strip District and Polish Hill last time I was up in Pittsburgh. Just stop in and check it out. Let's see, Haluski. $60 for a Haluski? No thank you. You can make this dish in under $10 and I promise you it'll taste better. 8 simple ingredients, most of which are probably already in your kitchen. Let's start off with your egg noodles. I don't like the Hamburger Helper egg noodle. They're really only good for one thing. I like the Haluski noodle that you can find around town. It's simply Polish for noodle, and it has double the yolk of an American egg noodle. At least 1 out of 3 Walmarts will carry these. Food Line also carries them. Sometimes they hide them in an international aisle, but mostly they're with the pasta. Believe it or not, you probably have a Polish deli within 20 minutes of your house right now. Just go get the good stuff, man. Before you start running up and down the aisles looking for Haluski, Keep in mind that in Poland, it's called łazanki. Our friendly little neighbors to the south, the Slovaks, are the ones that call this dish Haluski. Haluski is a Slovak name for a Polish dish. Once everyone came over to the big melting pot, somehow a Slovak name stuck to a Polish dish. I know you're getting bored. It's time to start cooking. Let's start by chopping the bacon. This is one of those things that's sometimes easier with scissors. Find a pan with tall sides and has a lid. While your bacon cooks, start boiling a large pot of water. Throw a pinch of salt in there too. Next, you're going to chop 2 to 3 onions and about a half a bulb of garlic. Next, you're going to start cutting a large head of cabbage into 1-inch ribbons. Cut once again into 2-inch pieces. You can cut all the way down to the core. There should be very little waste, if any. At this point, you can drop your noodles in the boiling water. Oh, cool, you went back for the good stuff. And if you can look at the price tag, you can see it's 20 cents cheaper than Walmart anyways. I'm guessing you forgot to ask the people at the Polish deli how to cook this stuff. This minute, without the E, is too al dente. So for this pasta, you want to stop cooking at 8 minutes, no longer than 9 minutes. Once your bacon is nice and crispy, start to fish it out. Save a 1/4 cup of the bacon grease in the pan. Dump in your onions and garlic. Applying the lid will help these cook down. The onions don't need long to cook. You're not trying to make them transparent. Add your whole head of cabbage in there. If you can't get it all to fit at one time, just wait for it to cook down and keep on adding it. Keep the lid on as much as you can so it cooks down, but you do want to keep tossing this so you don't burn the bottom. This is completely optional, but I make a little slurry with a half a cup of water and some chicken or beef bouillon to add some flavor. Cabbage has a high water content, so unless you're adding bouillon, there's no need to add additional water. Some people like to cook their cabbage down until it's almost completely translucent. I like mine to have some bite and some body to it. I don't cook it down that far. This is perfect right here. Total cook time for the cabbage should be about 10 minutes. I like to mix the cabbage and the noodles separately in a large bowl so I can get the consistency and cabbage to noodle ratio that I want. If your egg noodles are sticking together, don't try to peel them apart. Just throw them in there and mix it up and the cabbage will separate them. Salt and pepper to taste, and this is ready to serve. I'm going to transfer this to another vessel to reheat later. Before you even start on the foil pan, we do have plenty of cookware. I just like the foil pan. If you're going to eat right away, mix in your bacon pieces. If you're going to store this, keep the bacon in a separate baggie with a paper towel because it will collect up a lot of liquid and turn gushy. This will keep for a couple days in your refrigerator Pull it out and just reheat it. You can serve this with a side of kielbasa or any other meat you like. Thanks for watching and let me know how it turns out. Brought to you by Skippy Ice Apparel, quality clothing made right here in the USA, fit for any occasion. Another interesting tidbit about the locals is they love the daily paper. They don't care about stocks or bonds. During deer season, they'll read about hunting stuff, but year round they love the obituaries and the arrest report. Funerals are an important part of the social fabric. These locals will attend more funerals in 1 year than you will in your lifetime. Try to avoid talking about the police reports. Everyone up there has a code name. You may know someone for 20 or 30 years and never know their real name.